Hey everybody, welcome to Tattooed in Business. I am your host, Brian Merrill, and this is Life and Business through the eyes of a Gen X male who has been in the corporate sales game for over 20 years, and this is what I've learned, what I've seen, and what I've done. Remember, everyone, I am not a business coach. I am not a life coach, and I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. These are the things that I've experienced over the years, seen how I conduct business, who I am, and what I'm about. So that being said, first of all, the Kentucky Derby, man, that was just on moments ago. Holy crap! Wow, amazing finish, amazing results. So that just shows you it doesn't matter what place you're in. If you were scratched in life and you get as all you need is an opportunity and you can win it all, man. 80 to 1 odds. Just unbelievable race, unbelievable guys. So I just hope everyone is out there is thinking like, hey, I don't have a shot or whatever. There's always a shot, man. Puncher's always got a shot, right? So don't ever give up on your dreams and keep fighting, keep going for it. Today, I want to talk about something that I do. I've been asked about this a lot over my career. I've been asked several times to tell people kind of how I do things and what everything is about when you get into the sales game and how they call it prospecting. I call it hunting. I think there's two different ways of, or there's two different types that you do things, or two different mindsets that you have to be into. And I'm going to explain the difference right now. So prospecting is your pre-gaming, in my opinion. This is how you decide who you're going to go after, who you're going to look for, how to find your niche, your targets, all that type of stuff. So this is to me is your pre-gaming. So this is when I'm getting ready to go out hunting. I probably want to do a little bit of research about the area that I'm going hunting in. It's just like you got to think about how we've been raised and how we've been taught. And a if you're not a hunter or country person or whatnot, this may not quite resonate with you, my methodology or my mindset that I'm talking about. But I go back to like the Native Americans, right? How they learned to live off the land, right? So they adapted for their surroundings. They adapted to how the environment was, how nature was. They didn't settle in stupid places. They looked for places that were running water, vegetation. There's a reason for that. So that mindset brings the animals that they hunted, right? And and they taught other people how to do that. Well, that's the mindset that you got to be looking for. So when you're prospecting, that's that mindset you want to look at. Is you want to look for that um, water, that vegetation, that what's feeding this company. How does this company um, grow? Is it growing? Is it stagnant? Is it dying? Um, and that's part of the prospecting period. The prospecting is could be as far as so we'll talk about both uh, online or phone hunting versus face-to-face hunting. Okay, so when I'm doing the phone thing, um, a lot of times I'm using LinkedIn. Right, I think LinkedIn's a great resource to go for to find out some company information. There's all sorts of different uh, things you can search on. There's Bradbury Street, and there's all sorts of places, websites that you can go through and find out information. But you want to find out, first thing you have to do is define your niche, who you want to go after, why you want to go after them, and your selling proposition, right? Because at some point this is going to come up. But when I'm hunting, I am simply trying to get an appointment most of the time. That's 90% of my game is to get the appointment. In a perfect world, and this is something that I'm considering right now, is looking at affiliate marketers. Affiliate marketers will go out and you can put a bid on certain sites and tell them what your criteria, and their job is to find you qualified leads, and you pay them on either the lead, the appointment, whatever the mindset is. Um, so it's really like awesome to for me. I get excited, right? So I get super excited when um, I'm in that mode. I get very excited, very um, just amped because like that's what I get excited for. I love the hunt. I love to go for the hunt. I love that atmosphere. I love the transition. And every company I work with, or, and I always say with, so when I come on board with a company, yes, I'm working for them, but understanding your mindset with the company that I come on needs to be that I'm working with you, because I totally get my role. My role as new business development is to bring shit to the table and to try to um, cultivate things. And if I bring you to the table and I turn it over to you and you decide you're going to run with it, it's on you. Okay, if you want to cut me out of it and handle that part, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or whatnot, I'm one of the best closers you're going to ever see. I'm a person that I'm a very good listener, and because I'm a very good listener in a meeting, it makes it easy for me to close. Um, and I hate that word close, because you should never close the business, right? You should close that step and move on to the next one. So you should always be building another step. But so that's what I do. I'm the guy that you want to bring in for that type of stuff. Once they're to the plate, definitely that's a strong point. Well, the other thing I do very well is hunting. So when I'm on the phone, I'm on email, I'm looking for these things. So I will literally research companies. And this is where a company that I go to work with needs to understand that this is the mindset and there's a methodology to my madness. Okay, first of all, I start my day before our official shift comes, or whatever you want to fucking call it. I start my day before the day starts. Very simple, answering emails from the night before. Sometimes I start at 6 a.m. from my house. Usually I'm at the gym at 6 a.m. That's the other thing. To get in that mindset, you got to know what works for you. So for me, even on the weekends, and this is totally effed up, I totally get it. I'm so used to getting up at 5 in the morning that I get up at 5 in the morning. And that's the mindset I have when I'm planning my whole day. And when you hunt, sometimes that's the best way to do it. So there's this theory that goes way back to probably the late '90s, even maybe before that, that talks about when you catch the business owner, before and after work hours, weekends, lunchtime, all that type of stuff, right? Guys, your gatekeepers are so much better now than they used to be. There's so much more control. So you kind of got to just take that mentality kind of out of it. And you want to, let's face it, we all want to do business with like-minded people. Okay, that increases your chance of building that relationship, staying involved with them, staying in front of them. Like minds think alike, right? So that's the easy way to hunt. The easiest way to do is to hunt for people in companies that have like mindset with you. By the way, just a quick note, bottom of the screen, I have several people that have reached out to me over the last month or whatnot, commenting, everything, encouraging me to do this, sponsoring me. So I just want to give them a quick shout out. So please, on the bottom of this, Insulation Man, Susan, you were instrumental for me to get started back up doing this and following my dreams. I want you to know that. Curcio Printing, love the work at Curcio Printing. Cars Off, Eddie, love you, Eddie. You're one of my most favorite people in the world. Takes care of my kids like they're his own kids. Just a great stand-up place to get your car, and he will find you anything you want. Like, he literally had a BMW M4 there that was probably the most gorgeous car I've ever seen this last week. I wish I could have pulled the trigger. Robinson Designs, Tanya and Janelle, you guys are always some of my biggest fans and supporters. Just FYI, if you're out in the green New York next week, there's a small business, I don't want to say show, but small business marketplace that they're putting on, Caskin Farms, Don and Giovanna. Giovanna is 18 years old, and this is her first business, and she is rocking it. I'm telling you, I want to figure out a way to be involved with them and work with them more. Just great place. We're talking quality, not, we're talking very quality food out there. And then I can't wait to see what the other businesses that come a part of that. And of course, as everyone knows, Cortland Beer Company, the guys up there, you're my go-to one of my favorite places to go. So, John and all the guys up at Cortland Beer Company, the boys, Chanso, everybody. I love you guys. So anyhow, just want to do a quick shout out to them. So back to where I talked about hunting. So when I'm hunting, I'm looking for that like-minded person. Right? I'm thinking I want someone who's going to be energetic, someone who is going to be kind of crazy, a little bit like me, to about their business. And in all honesty, I like to have that person who has that work ethic that they're going to get up at 5 in the morning. And there's a lot of nights that I don't get home till late, and I come home, I do a couple things, and my mind's right back at work. I'm right back working on things, whether it be my web development, the podcasting. Um, I'm a guy who's always available for if somebody has a question, and I really thrive and I love to help people out. I don't believe in that giver gains bullshit I've talked about before. I believe in you give because it's the right thing to do, which is why I'm part of the Success Champion Networking and this New York State Women's Business Zone um, group that I'm with out in the Broome, Tioga County, because the women inside there, and there's a couple men, there's a couple of us that are men in this group. The like-mindedness is what draws me in there, and that's an important thing, is to be able to help each other out and thrive in business and in life in general. So when I'm out hunting, uh, there's a few things that you have to do. The first thing is you got to get in that right mindset. Whether you're on the phone, email, wherever you're at, you got to get in that mindset. And the mindset has got to be you don't give a fuck. And it sounds harsh, it sounds stupid, it sounds bad, but you have to not give a fuck about the outcome. Your job is to get the appointment at this stage. Okay, now you have to be ready to switch gears if you get that appointment in front of them, and be able to sell yourself in that selling proposition. And how you sell yourself is you shut up and listen. Okay, that's the next step. Okay, so we're talking about the hunting side of it. So you got to lose that fear of what the outcome is going to be. Stop giving a fuck. And when I say that, I really truly go back to this, and it is the straight line business approach. Jordan Belfort, I'm a huge fan of him. Um, I truly believe in his teaching. There is only two outcomes to everything you do in life. Every decision you make, there's only two outcomes: either negative, positive, yes, no. There is no such thing as maybe. Maybe is a no, okay? And maybe can be turned into a yes. So, and I fucking hate Grant Cardone. I really think he's a pompous ass. He's a scammer. I don't give a shit how much money you got. You're a fucking scammer. And even when people don't try to expose you, you wind up exposing yourself. But Grant Cardone, one of the things I do like that he says is, even when he gets a no, that's when his selling starts. And what I love about that is his drive to keep pushing. But for me, I'm not in the job of convincing anybody. I'm not trying to convince you that promotional products work. I'm not going to try to convince you that you need to buy branded apparel. I'm not here to convince you that your website is your location, location, location. If you don't get that at this day and age, then you're probably not going to last very long. You need to have a strong landing page, a strong website that represents you and your brand, and that gives you a reason to come. Okay, so I'm out hunting. So, all right, so we're on the phone. I've done my targets. I've reached out to people. I like to do so I start my day. So I go work out most of the time. I'm not a big eater, so I in the morning. So I try to. What you want to do is definitely your mindset. Also, is a reflection of your diet. A lot of times, you don't want sugary, all that crap that brings you down and makes you crash. So you need to start your morning off with water, lots of water. The first thing you wake up, you should be drinking a bottle of water. First of all, I learned that from Jen Beck. You need to be drinking water the minute you wake up, because you are dehydrated. So you need to hydrate. Helps your mind thinking. It helps you wake up and you start your flow, right? So I start and I answer some emails. And the first thing I'll do, and hopefully there's no interruptions, right? So hopefully there's no fires, no interruption. Now I literally take the next, hour, and I do follow-up emails or phone calls from quotes I have sitting out there, or new touches for where I'm going to be on this day the following week. I like that mentality. I've had a lot of success doing that. I learned that when I was doing industrial sales, And I found that that technique works very good. I do shift on the fly based on what's going to happen out in the field, or if I'm able to pick up another appointment and whatnot. So my goal right now is to have Mondays and Fridays are tough cold call days. So I try to pick days to be in the office, and unfortunately you do have to pick like a Wednesday midweek. Unless you have somebody doing your quotes for you. If you have somebody doing your quotes for you, that makes a huge difference. You can call them in, they can work on them and stuff. You can do it at home. That makes a big difference. But you got to have a quote day and get back to you. So you set your expectations and follow up, and then you plan all this around it. So we're going back to perfect world, right? So perfect world, I can be out on road, I can go hunt. So I've done my hunting, whether it be at my house, car, office, whatever. So I do my next hour or so that is reaching out. Okay, so I've done my thing. So it's 8 o'clock. Now I do this. So let's just say 9 o'clock. By 9:30, I'd like to be in front of my first cold call, face-to-face meeting if I'm doing it that way. And it literally is, I plan where I'm at, what the territory I'm going to be in, and I usually pick 6 to 10 places I want to stop. And if you pick 10, you might get 2 or 3 people. So that's why you have to do 10 in the morning, reach outs, 10 face to faces, and then you got to do another 10 at the end of your day, follow up, research, whatever. Okay, so this gives you 30 touches during the day, variety of touches. So on 30 touches, you should be able to connect with somewhere in the ballpark of 4 to 6 true quality contact, right? So that's where we want to be at. So once we do that, we're out there and I'm literally knocking on doors. And when you're cold calling, sometimes you don't know a little about it. But you got this brilliant freaking device called your cell phone, right? That's this brilliant device, and this cell phone right now is more powerful than any computer we ever had. It's faster. It has everything we need at the tip of our hands. Okay, and I'm a firm believer in you carry your laptop, and I have a charger in there, and I have a plug and all that. I used to carry a printer in my freaking car, but now you can email quotes and everything. So if you get in a situation where you got to bang one out, you do. So I'm out there. So now when I'm out there hunting, so we're talking. So now I'm going to talk about true cold call, not warm leads, nothing like that. I literally will look for companies based on lettering on their building, people in the parking lot, activity I see moving around, and I like to drive. So I will drive and I will literally case an area like I treat it like I'm stalking or I'm investigating, um, that I'm doing a recon mission. And I don't know, maybe this comes from being in the military. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't a big hunter growing up, on the farm and stuff, but it was more routine things. But maybe this comes from that mindset of, being in the military. I don't know where it comes from. It just kind of happens. But I'm always looking at who I want to work with. What type of companies do I want to work with? Who do I want? And not that I don't, I love startups. I really love startup because I love the gamble and the chance to grow big with them, and being their go-to. But I look for different places. I look for manufacturers mostly, and I'm not afraid to ask them, hey, who else? Who is there? Anybody else in the area you think I can benefit from? So I look around the area. I drive around the area. I never take the same route to and from. If I go highway there, I'm taking all back roads back. On my weekend, a motorcycle rider. I fucking go riding in where I'm going to prospect, guys. I mean, this is not a 9 to 5. And if you think it's a 9 to 5, get the fuck out of sales, man. It's not what it's about. This is not easy. This is the greatest and the worst job in the same stretch of highway. So when you're hunting, you gotta like have that mindset that even when I'm not on the clock, my eyes and ears are always looking and listening. I'm in the gym. Somebody says something. I don't try to interrupt them, but I want to make sure that people know what I do and what I'm about. And I'm a guy that when I go to the gym, I don't want to be bothered, so I kind of stay back. I really try to hang back and I do my own thing. A lot of people had their headphones on and everything. But I want you to know what I do so that, if you see something, hopefully you throw me a bone and I try to throw you a bone. And you really have to grasp that. Don't think about your gas. Don't think about your mileage. Think about the future and when you get in front of this person, how you're going to grow them. And that's the other thing I'm looking for. Who can I help? Is there somebody out here I can help? Is there somebody I can do something for? I take that mindset as I want to explore that area, explore that company, and know that I can help them. And if I can't help them, then I want to make sure I get someone who can help them. And and that's why the referral partners are huge for things like if I, for example, the minute I hear someone's looking for a car, I sell them the Eddie. The minute I hear somebody's looking for insulation, I sell them the insulation man. You know what I mean? I mean, in business world, there's so many of us entrepreneurs out there. When somebody is looking for need, I hate the word virtual assistant. Kathy's not a virtual assistant. Kathy is my guide and my freaking lifeline. She keeps me organized because that's what I need. So when I meet with Kathy Servos for Servos Virtual Consulting, she keeps me on task and holds me accountable. That is something I need. These are the things that I look for. And then, of course, there's your recreational stuff that you do. So even when you're in the rec world, you are still prospecting. You are still hunting. My mindset is I love the chase. I love that hunt. And then when I get that person I'm in front of them, I literally know it's 50-50. And I believe that I'm going to help them. And I assume the sale. When I get to that place where I'm giving you that quote, I've already won in my mind. When I'm giving that to you, I've already won. I hope it's not about price because I try not to even bring it up and talk about it. Price does factor in things, guys. Let's be honest. Kevin and I talked about this something. We were taught this, and it is true. Hogs get slaughtered, and that is reality. Profit's not a dirty word, but hogs get slaughtered. Now, that being said, if I come to you and you just want a mug, but the mug has a campaign wrapped around it, and I come up with this campaign, I come up with this presentation like box or whatever and all that, yeah, I'm gonna probably yield a higher profit margin on this because I deserve it. I didn't just come to you with a fucking mug. I came to you with a campaign that's going to help you grow your business. Okay. But I also have to relay that too. I have to relay what I'm bringing to the table. So when somebody comes back to me after call and say, you're too high, I just say, we're probably not good partners for each other then. Because if you're the cheapest in your industry, then I probably don't want to work with you either. I want to work with people who see my value and I see theirs. So when I'm hunting, that's a big part of it. So when I'm knocking on that door, walking in that, and I love to find someone who wants to help you out with that stuff. And there's a lot of people out there who do. You got to reward them. You have to make sure that you respect them and their time. And that will go so much further than you knocking in and just, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I'm really, like there's this one guy we pick on that's in our industry, and he, I won't say his name, but I'm so-and-so, and from this, and I'm with the number one promo product. So when you think of this, you think of me. And it sounds like a fucking commercial. If it sounds rehearsed and it sounds like a commercial, you've lost. You really have. That's why I hate B&I. Get up and give us your 60-second sales pitch on you. Yeah, you know what? I don't want to hear it. I want to know, what can you do for me? How can we help each other out? And your sales pitch, your fucking 60 seconds. The other one that drives me insane are Toastman. I'm a professional Toastman. Good for you, man. Good for you. I don't give two shits about that. I want to. That's great. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Toastmasters. First of all, Toastmasters, learning how to speak in public places in front of people and all that, very important. But I have yet to meet a Toastmaster that has impressed me at all. And I have yet to meet anyone that it's not about them. And I'm sorry, that's just who I've met in my life, and it is what it is. I don't need you to sales pitch me, all right? So that's kind of the mentality behind it. So for number one, you got to get in the right mindset. And that means you can't be afraid to lose. You have to not give a fuck about the outcome. You have to be willing to explore, not just drive to a place and then drive back. You have to explore the territory. That really goes back to, I keep coming back to this. You got to not give a shit. You can't think about the outcome. You are selling yourself first, then your company, and then your products, right? So, and the only way you do that is you got to shut the fuck up and listen when you get in the door. When you're hunting, it's all about finding those right fits. And you know what? You're going to have great hunting days. You're going to have bad hunting days. Thursday, didn't have a great hunting day. Really didn't. Day before, yeah, so-so. Tuesday, had a great fucking hunting day. Like, I mean, it just, that's the way it goes, man. You know, it's not there's no givens in life other than you're going to grow, pay taxes, right? And then die. So with that being said, love to hear some feedback from you. Again, if you're out in the Green, New York area and you're a small business looking to do a display, Cascoon Farms, I always say it wrong, it's Cascoon Farms. Reach out to Don or Giovanna about booth space over there. Great place. Hold on, let's pray for great weather, first of all. And they have a great location out there. Let's support them. And like I said, if you want to make an impact as a small business, reach out to them, see how to get a hold of them, see how much a booth would be. And, hopefully we'll see you all out there. That being said, everyone have a great week. And this is Tattooed in Business. And I'm your host, Brian Merrill. And I hope you all got something out of this. And by all means, reach out to me and let me know what you think. Have a great weekend, everybody. All right. And happy Mother's